People know me. No one's reached out. Hey, buddy, let's go talk on the beach. You reached out.
Okay.
You reached out.
Okay. So you see, it starts with us.
So if it's my personal opinion of what a local is, dude, you local, like, seriously, well, your vibe is local. Good morning, everyone. It's the 20th of June, 2025. I'm standing here on the golden sands of Uvongo Beach, well, here by Uvongo Pier. And it's also here where I met someone that's in the same wavelength as me, also on the social media, on TikTok. His name is Bevan Bear. And we got together and thought, hey, well, we're both in the same realm. We both enjoy the beauty of the coast. And we spoke for a couple of seconds and already we hit it off. So this is long overdue. I'm going to introduce you now to Bevan Bear. Bevan, how are you, buddy?
Brendan, I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me on the first little podcast.
Well, it's my first podcast too, so
yes.
I said to you, we're not going to copy what we see. We're just going to run with it and see how it goes.
Exactly. Take it as it comes. So let me tell you, I've been down here on the South Coast for 3 months. This is officially my 3rd month. I can't be called a Durbanite or a coast yet. I'm still a Varley. Grew up in Bedford View in Joburg, but I tell you, you know, I watched a movie on the weekend in Joburg, and there was a phrase that says, if you're in a bubble, eventually you will get suffocated, which is exactly how I felt. And you know what? I packed my bags and I thought, let me come down to the South Coast, and that's what I did. And then I on TikTok all the time, and I saw your vids.
My messages.
Your messages, and I absolutely love them. You know, the sunrise in the mornings and the beaches, and I just thought, let me follow this guy. And yeah, we met at Uvongo, just down the road. So we're here.
No, lekker. One thing you did mention there, and I need to emphasize it, is that you're not a local because you've been here 3 months. But there's one thing I can tell you, and I know a lot of locals here. You've probably been to the beach more in these 3 months than some locals have been here in 2 decades. I was in Durban, lekker life, you know, want to achieve, and then married, kids, and you're getting older, and yeah, I just wanted to chill and come back to the beach.
You know, you talk about getting older. I mean, I'm hitting 50 soon. and I tell you what, I eventually understand what bird watching is all about. and what watching the waves is, spending 2 hours and just looking at the beauty surrounding us all over. I actually understand it. And not wanting to run in and swim and, you know, just like do this all the time. I'm actually learning to relax. And which this has done in 3 months. I can't tell you what the South Coast and what these beaches have done for me. Spiritually, healing factors, you know, learning to understand how to just relax and appreciate what you've got. I mean, you don't have to spend money to come down. You know, you can come down, have an apple, just say thank you for everything around us and enjoy this. Look at this. Yeah. I mean, look at this. You can't compare. And I'm not knocking Joburg or any other little
really
place.
You can't. I mean,
you really can't.
I'm assuming you've traveled.
I have. Yes.
See?
Yes, I have.
I've traveled.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've experienced only but a scratch, even though I've seen quite a few places, but yeah, you still can't beat an African subtropical winter.
Not
I mean, this. Okay, just like you said, it's not about getting in the water. It's the healing, just being here. I mean,
grounding.
I surfed, exactly.
It's grounding yourself.
I surfed a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I made a video yesterday of
Please teach me.
going to go spearfish, and my rubber snapped because I haven't used my spear gun in 12 years. But I get almost the same therapy as I did from just standing and filming the ocean. But it's no excuse not to get in the ocean, and neither is it for you. We need to start surfing, getting in that water.
And let me tell you, Brendan, you know what I also love about this side, and again, I'm not knocking anywhere else, but the people here are friendly. You go for a walk in the morning, right?
Yes.
And I normally go, but like between 7 and 8, you know, I'm normally going on my walk to Orange Rock, Uvongo, wherever. And you see the same people walking, and I tell you, it's good morning, how are you, lekker, enjoy your walk, the dogs. It's just, you don't get that kind of freedom in Joburg. And I know people might say, yes, you do if you go on trails and that, but that means you have to get in your car and actually go somewhere. But this year is God's background. You just don't get this kind. You don't get this in Joburg. Or I don't know where else. I'd say Joburg because I come from there. But
How long in Joburg?
oh, I've been here 3 months, so I'm 48. So call it. I lived 2 years in Europe, but yeah, almost 45 years in Joburg in the same place to come experience this, and then you start thinking to yourself, why have I not done this before? And I tell you why, because I'm scared. I was scared to. But the pros and cons that come with moving down here, you know, everyone thinks living by the beach, you have to have a lot of money and. In actual fact, it's a little bit cheaper than living in Joburg. You know, the properties are cheaper, the rentals are cheaper, and you get this. I'm not looking at a highway when I'm working, I'm looking at this.
Exactly.
I'm looking at this.
We essentially like in our office.
Oh,
We're essentially in our
exactly
offices.
that.
So everything you've said there is difficult to comment because it's like you're speaking my mind. It's like you're speaking my mind. It's exactly the same for me as well. It's that the rat race is not there. But going back to what you said, you've been in Joburg, well, most of your life, okay?
Yeah.
In terms of, and let's be honest here, infrastructure-wise, I mean, let's not put lipstick on a pig here. Yes, every municipality in South Africa has issues, right?
Yes, 100%.
and you know, being a local here, I hear a lot of locals speaking. A lot of locals take pride in their town here. And, you know, a lot of them feel like, oh my gosh, these people from Joburg, if they come down, they're going to worry, you know, as if the Joburg is painted with golden streets.
Yeah.
Are there also issues there? Is there also water issues? Or?
There's water issues as we speak.
Okay.
There's water issues as we speak. A very good friend of mine woke up this morning. She hasn't had water for the last 2 days, and apparently it's going to be the next 5 days. I've gone through that when I lived in Joburg. So, you know, the problems there are nothing compared to the problems here.
Yeah.
You know, yes, I've been here 3 months. Yes, there's potholes. There's potholes on the way down here to Uvongo. But there's potholes all over.
Everywhere.
You know,
I drove up to Witbank the other day. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't think that's like a Durban thing. I think that's a South African
It's
thing.
a standard now. So it's
if there's no potholes,
nice.
you're not a South African. But in terms of municipality and that, you know, we've got tidy towns here. Every morning I see them picking up rubbish on the beach. I see them cleaning the lagoon. Yesterday, the day before, they were emptying out the Uvongo lagoon. So it works. It seems to work.
Yeah.
It really does.
No, it does. And I think it's that community involvement, and I think that's the way going forward now.
100%.
In our society, I won't call it enclaves, but I think there are more good people in this country than there are bad. And that's what I always say to people. You know, a lot of people are worried. You know, what's this and that? And I say, guys, look around.
But you know, Brendan,
good
it starts
people.
with us. It starts with yourself.
Exactly.
You know, if you don't throw that piece of paper out your car window, if you pick up a piece of paper on your walk, if you help someone, that person helps that person. We don't have to rely on anyone else. It just starts with us.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm down here. It's almost like a personal journey. Because over there it felt, and again, not knocking Joburg, please guys, not knocking Joburg. But over there it felt like I was trying to breathe underwater.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, and I'm still doing that. But over here I've got a sense of peace when I'm doing that. You know,
and it only gets better, buddy.
Yes, as I was saying about the appreciation, I think that's the fundamental differences between just coming for a holiday and actually experiencing the South Coast. That's the difference. I'm living it. But I've got a question for you.
Yes.
When can I call myself? What do you call Durbanite?
Local.
A local. When can I call myself a local? How long do I have to be here?
Okay, so there's that, you know, when you watch people on podcasts, there's the opportunity for the comments, guys. So it's very difficult. I suppose it's probably very subjective, but if enough people agree on that, I suppose you can call it then the local truth. So there's a question, guys. When can someone be called a local?
Please tell me. I'm dying to know, because I've heard people say you have to be at 12 months, a year. And I've heard people say you have to be a minimum of 2 years. So I don't know.
That's a difficult question. You see, because my frame of mind is always, I try to be a lacquer guy.
Okay,
I always try to be, you local in my opinion.
100%.
I mean, I know a lot of local people here on the coast. A lot of local people know me. No one's reached out. Hey, buddy, let's go talk on the beach. You reached out.
Wow, okay.
You reached out.
Okay. So you see, it starts with us.
So if it's my personal opinion of what a local is, dude, you local. Like, seriously, well, your vibe is local. Your vibe is
I
local.
appreciate
So
it. Thank you.
if everyone here had similar vibes, I'm not saying exactly like us, okay? Not as eclectic and outgoing. Because imagine if everyone was outgoing, it would be
The
awesome.
beach would be full.
It would be lekker. So I would say, yeah.
I'm on my way.
you're local.
So also,
What you put into the universe, you will get out. It's
Yeah.
when you expect it, that's where the downfall is. Just put it in,
Yeah.
whether it comes in this lifetime
you
or the
reap what
next.
you sow. You reap what you sow.
100%.
And also, I've got one more thing for the podcast. Sorry, not one more thing, but I just want to throw something out there.
Yes.
So I'm new down here to the South Coast, and I'm not all about going out drinking and going to bars and. I know where they are. Of course I know where they are. But me, as a newbie, where do I go? Where do I go?
You're an outdoor person.
Yes.
There's a walk called the Ramsgate Ramble. Now, when people ask me, a lot of people ask me, what can we do? Funny you say that. Someone asked me the other day on my Facebook page, what else is there to do other than restaurants? Because
Good question.
most of the
Yeah.
things is restaurants or
Yeah.
eating. So I said there's a Ramsgate Ramble. It's a phenomenal nature's walk. There's dussies. There's so much wildlife along the walk. And you're walking from Margate side or the beginning of Ramsgate all the way down to Southbrim. It's unbelievable. Okay.
When does that happen? Like, is it?
No, it's a walk as you can go now.
Oh, so it's open to.
Yes.
Okay.
I will put a link
Okay.
in the comments
Yeah.
for the Ramsgate Ramble.
Okay.
So you can take a walk down there. So for those out there, I'll put a link of the Ramsgate Ramble. It's an awesome walk. Obviously, as we hear, there's tidal pools. There's so much. But for those that, if you get a bit tired of the beach, there's indoor activities. You've got your action sports arena, which is in Shelly Beach, where they do action cricket, indoor netball. They've got a restaurant there as well. I know we said restaurant, but if you want to get something to eat there, you can. But if it's raining and you want to go do something with your kids, I'll also leave a comment in the description. And then there's Lake Eland. Now, Lake Eland, I'd like to describe it as probably the Kruger Park of Margate.
And you're absolutely spot on. I've been
if
there.
you're in Margate, I mean, I know some people here that have never really left Margate. They don't even know where the Kruger is. So for them, that is the closest you'll get to the Kruger. I mean, okay, there's no big five, but what it lacks in the big cats, it's got so much more in terms of activities, zip lining, it's bridge,
They've got that bridge,
fishing.
yeah.
The amount of times I've been there for weddings.
Yeah,
A lot of my friends
it's
have gotten
picturesque.
married. It's a lekker spot. I'm actually
really
going
is.
there this weekend, so I'm
Okay.
going to have a draw
Lekker.
with the
Yeah.
family, the kids.
And that's not far, right? It's what's it like?
It's about 40 minutes.
Okay.
40 minutes from here. It's up Port Shepstone. You drive up to
true.
Murchison. You turn right. It's through Orby Gorge or that area. And then,
But I'm so blessed that I'm privy to be part of the South Coast and enjoy the offerings that I've never seen before. And I tell you, I got a lot from you. I mean, I know where what's it, Lucian Beach is?
Yes.
I know where St. Mark's, I know where you stand.
Nightingale Shipwreck. Did you see the one
I
there
haven't,
with
no.
the shipwreck in Glenmore?
No.
I must actually repost. I've got a
Yeah,
lot of
please.
good stuff that I've gone down there. There's Nightingale Shipwrecks. Awesome things. There's a red desert. The world's smallest desert.
What?
I'm
Wait.
not lying. In Port Edward. I swear.
You see, I've never-
You can
yeah.
Google it. Now it's debatable. Some say no, it's not in this, but there's a lot agreeing to it being the world's smallest desert per specification. So go check it
Okay.
out. It's in Port Edward as well. The red desert, yeah. World's
And
smallest. And the upside down house.
I saw that on the way back from Durban.
Yes.
I saw
Just
signs.
outside
yeah.
of Port
Yes.
Shepstone, upside down house. That's a lekker spot.
But you know, Brendan, private guy. Let me call you private guy
Yes,
for the
yes,
sake of
yes,
this.
yes.
You know what I love about you is that you get a lot of guys on the South Coast and they put up their camera and they sit at the same beach and you see the sunrise, but you can only do that for 5 days.
Yes.
I want to see what else is out here, and that's why I predominantly follow you on the South Coast, because
Thanks.
you go here, and this morning you'll go here, and the next morning you're in Margate, and the next morning you at St. Mark's, and so I love that. Oh wow, look at that beach. Oh wow, look at that. So your content, honestly, is spot on. Really.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
It was absolutely amazing. It really was. For our first little podcast or
Beachcast.
Beachcast.
Yeah.
Beachcast.
Beachcast. There we go. We just made
on
a
the
term.
beach, guys. Thank you.
Beachcast.
And
Thanks.
whoever watches us, give us a follow, especially private guy. You won't be
And
sorry.
him as well.
Bevan Bear.
Bevan Bear.
Bevan
All
Bear.
the links to
Yeah.
us and the stuff we spoke about will be in the comments section. So check it out.